Had a dream. My videos aren't working. My Facebook won't come up. The whole Facebook won't come up. My dream, I was on what they call split level parking lot. And I looked outside on one level and I saw a quarter moon. When I went down to the next level, I saw another quarter moon, but it was the exact same height or coordinates as the first moon, straight across. Yet I wasn't straight across when I went down a level. Then the earth started to tilt, and it seemed like we were completely out of control. My first thought was, shit, we're falling in space. My second thought, the pressure in space won't let us fall. It won't be possible. So if we do start to fall and you feel the tilt, it's within and not on the outside. At the same time, we started to notice the twin moons, both quarter moons. The minute I started to notice it, and the rest of the people, then the groups came in and they started throwing snakes on us, saying the Jews don't like snakes, the Jews don't like snakes. Then I read on Alfred Lambert Weber an article where Pharaoh taught the Jews. What Pharaoh taught the Jews was how to work, was how to make a buck in order to pay for their food. Except they didn't get money, they got room and board. Not all the Jews were slaves. Most of them, but not all of them. Like I said, I'm going to say it again. We are in a world basically called The Game. They made a movie called The Game. It was about hockey. And everybody knows what it's like skating on thin ice. Sometimes you just fall right through. The other stories I come up with is the fisherman story. There were 12 disciples, 3 or 4 were fishermen, and everybody knows the fishermen do not all speak the truth. Therefore, the disciples who wrote the parts of the Bible told lies. Judas Iscariot was a rebel, guerrilla fighter. He stood at the edge of the Da Vinci Code final supper of Christ, crunching the table with his hands, and his teeth were clenched together. You knew he was telling the truth. So what do we have today? We have books and Bibles telling us about history and dinosaurs, when Avatar tells me the islands were pulled and tied together. And the concept and explanation of this are the Jamaicans, the Rastafarians, their hair, the dreadlocks that kept the islands close together beneath the floor. And everybody knows when you drill beneath the floor, it's water. Everybody knows when you go down to the bottom of the ocean, it's land. Everybody knows. We're not sure what to trust that we hear. We are in a stop-and-go world, the octagon world. The Mug and Dovett, both showing different types of stars. And when you extend the points of each one of these shapes, they create more angles. The octagon has 8 sides. It also has 8 points. That's 16. And then the center would be 17. And in blackjack, we stand on 17. But there are 8 sides of 17, which makes 80 and 56. 80 and 56 is 136. That's creation. 6, 1, and 3 are the points you get in football. 6 for a touchdown, 1 for a field goal, extra point, and 3 for a field goal. 6, 1, and 3 are the number of laws of Moses, 365 and 248. 365 is, just like I mentioned before, 56 or 65. 65 and 56 is 121, which is 11 times 11. 11 times 11 is 121, is May 1st. Multiplied by Trinity, or the star of the Mercedes, and it's 363 days. 363 days is today. When we go to the leap year, it becomes 122 times 3, 366. That would be in 3 days from now. So that means right now we fall into the middle of the cycle of the creation of what was told to us. Now, I'm not sure where to go next. I don't prepare any of this, and I just hopped out of bed shaking because I really don't like snakes. And I don't like people taking advantage of us. I dislike it, the way we're treated, especially when you go in towards the hospital or you drive down the street and you see the red and blue lights, the cherries on the cop cars. Cop, pop, cop. All the same thing. We are in the cycle of 363 right now today. In 3 days, not counting today, it will be January 1st. 3 days counting today will be December 31st. It's just like in Monopoly. You stand where you are and you don't count it, but you got there somehow, so you are one. There can be 3 people, first, second, and third, but in all reality, they're first, and first, because each one of them are one in their own position. They each own their own position. What did Pharaoh do? Sure, he must have taught them a whole lot of stuff. He taught them how to get whipped and to get to work and to get into their car, but they didn't need a car. In fact, I don't even think any of them had horses. They all had donkeys, and everybody knows a donkey is an ass and pin the tail on the donkey. The donkey is an ass, and an ass is an ace, and the ace is what you have in your heart. In some of my revelations, I see that the heart stamps out the information that the light brings in, the energy light of spirit, and it directs to the soul in which man decides on what he should do. Because I believe that when the spirit comes into you, it doesn't give you the direct truth of the totality. It gives you more or less a clue. So now that we're into that tapered effect of it, now we have to go to the programs of Batman and Robin, the Joker, the Penguin. It's all in games people play. What we were taught through television, comics, etc., etc., etc. Isn't that what Pharaoh said? Now, I really don't want to go digging, and I like to show this one star. This is a octagon. This is a hexagon. Is that right? This fits in between here. It also becomes the Hebrew star of the Magen David. And here's the diamond in the corner. Each corner gets a diamond. The only reason the diamond is created like that is because the core. You have your one big X that takes the totality and captures everything. And then you have X's and strikes all the way around. Just like in bowling games people play. Want to play with colors? Let's go to the races or play a game of pool. Where else do we get colors other than the rainbow? The rainbow is not of games people play, but don't forget, 3 out of every 4 says there's one left over. There's always one truth. And when there's uniqueness, you are the unique one to decide. Raphael 7286. I hope this video comes out. Don, Alfred, good work, my friends. At least I know I can go somewhere where there's a little bit of truth. Another thing about this whole thing is May 2nd is the 123rd day. 1, 2, 3. That's this year. Normally, it's May 3rd, which would be the 3rd day of the 5th month, which is the egg. The 122nd day is the spirit being born into this world, 122. It's busting blackjack, but 1, 2, and 2 is 5. 1 left, 1 right. 1 knows the left side and the right side. two eyes, the left side and the right side, but it's only what's behind here that sees, which makes it one eye again. Raphael 7286. Salt water and you. Thank you.